Imagine standing in front of a long row of stacked dominoes. You reach out, barely tapping the first one, and suddenly a chain reaction unfolds before your eyes. One by one, each domino knocks over the next one, creating an unstoppable force, all from that single tiny push. Now, what if I told you this is exactly how history works? My name is Salama Alnuaimi, and this is how small actions can ignite wars. We tend to think of history as being shaped by powerful figures and grand events, wars, revolutions, and world-changing decisions. Surely, those are what shape our world, right? But history isn't just about those moments. It's about the small actions, the small, almost unnoticeable ones that set those big moments in action. Now, let's take a step back in history. June 28, 1914, a man named Gavrilo Princip was wandering the streets of Sarajevo, Bosnia's capital city. Earlier that day, he had attempted to assassinate the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, but he had failed to do so. Feeling disheartened, he stops at a cafe. Meanwhile, the Archduke's driver makes a wrong turn, going in front of that very same cafe. Seizing the moment, Princip pulls out his gun, shoots a shot, and then another, assassinating the Archduke. The death of that single man became the reason behind the very first global war, World War I. Now, why did the assassination of one man become the justification for a whole world war? Because small actions don't just lead to direct events. They set off ideological chain reactions. The death of one man became the justification for Austria-Hungary to declare war on Serbia, then triggering Russia's involvement, then Germany's, then Britain's. It was the spark that ignited a war that consumed the world. Now, moving forward, 1955. In 1955, Rosa Parks boards a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. She was feeling exhausted, not just from work, she was feeling exhausted from the constant dehumanizing weight of segregation. The bus driver had demanded that she gives up her seat for a white passenger. She refuses. She stands her ground and does not give up her seat. That single moment of defiance, so small yet so simple, has set off a big reaction that even influenced many, many other actions. Many people have started protests and even influenced the legislative changes in the United States of America. From being rejected from art school to the very first global war, to the very second global war, sorry. Okay? Consider a young, struggling artist in 1907. He had just been rejected from art school, and the School of Fine Arts in Vienna had dismissed his work as lacking talent. Feeling bitter, he turns to politics, that artist being none other than Adolf Hitler. He turned his bitterness into he turned it into something that he never should have. He turned it into a wrong direction. Instead of pursuing a different career, he turned to politics, which led to a global catastrophe. He could have pursued a career in painting, or maybe even something else. The idea that small, often unnoticed actions is something I became deeply fascinated with in my research, studying rights, activism, and social events. Studying rights, activism, and even social events. In AP seminar, I noticed a pattern. There was the same thing that was happening in every single one of them. All of these were set off by small acts of courage, small people who didn't know what they were doing, people who just didn't know that the importance or the extent of importance that their actions would have led to. Now, what all these people have in common is that they never realized the extent of their actions. They stood for what's right, and some of them even did a small action that led to major catastrophes. So I leave you with this. What's the small action you take? What's the first domino you can push? Because history isn't just shaped by the powerful people. It's also shaped by people, like by ordinary people, just like you and me. We don't often see the extent of the importance of our actions, but our small, tiny action could be something very important tomorrow. A kind word to someone could be just the hope they needed to continue on in their day. A small idea in a classroom could create a groundbreaking discussion, creating a major idea that could also influence a major action. So, what's the first action you can do, and what's the first domino you can push? Thank you.